Okay, dear people of the internet, this will be my quick review of the Hoka Challenger shoe, which I took to Corsica for a little walk in the mountains. And they turned out to be the worst piece of equipment I've ever owned. I might as well have gone to my local sports store and bought the cheapest pair of sneakers available. I'm sure they would be just as whack, but probably even better. So these Hoka Challengers are supposed to be great all-terrain, super durable trail running shoes that could handle almost anything. Well, I'll tell you, the thing that they can handle is probably a walk to the IKEA, which is probably exactly what the people have done who gave these shoes these rave reviews and awards on the internet, because I've been walking on the shoes for like 2 weeks in the city. And that was great, real nice cushioning and blah 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 blah, super light. But then I took them to the mountains, and from day one they started falling apart real bad. This is the first thing that fell apart. Yeah, I mean, nothing too serious, but it looks like shit, and it was a sign that worse might happen. And from like day two, the soles started falling apart. You see, you got this big rubbery sort of material, but then there's this hard plastic things attached to it for grip. And these things, they started letting go from day two. They started letting go, and from day 4 onwards, they actually started falling off. There used to be a whole line of the shit here and here and here. Other shoe, just the same. Look, it's almost all gone. So I've been walking on the shoes for 5 days, and from like the second day I had to check them every evening to see if they would be okay for another day, or I would really get into serious trouble. And because this was not the kind of environment where you can just take your socks and walk off. So they were really a matter of great concern. The sides were sort of falling apart. Here is all this wear and tear from a little rock scratching on the side as well. Another thing that started happening after like 2 or 3 days is that the whole construction between the upper shoe and the lower shoe, it was sort of loosening up, you know. So I don't know if I can show this. It became, if you put the shoe on the ground, then your feet will go all sorts of direction. It was not nicely positioned and held in place anymore. It was just getting loose in all sorts of directions. So I really had to adapt my style of walking to these shoes and keep it straight all the time, and don't go on like if you walked on boulders that were like this, then the sole would stick, but your foot would slide downwards, which was really annoying. So these shoes, I really don't get it, man. They were because I don't think this is an accident. They probably use the same sole technique on all their models, and literally from day one on, they just cannot handle the mountains and the stones. And this was not an extraordinary, more than average environment. Yeah, one extra thing, they are totally like, they don't claim to be waterproof, but little water resistant bullshit. Like every drop that got on here, it just went right through the sock, wet feet. So if you think about using these in well, some sort of wetness, whether it be rain or some puddles, do you call it puddles? Then well, forget about it. You will get wet feet. So I don't understand this. This was really a problem, and these the great marketing, but in reality, this is it's not a Hoka. It's a Joka. And I cannot say anything good because of course they sort of look like well, they're not that nice with the thick sole, and so that's not really a plus either. Yeah, so yeah, if you need well, like an interesting, eccentric, hipster kind of shoe to go to the IKEA and talk about with your friends who don't know shit either, then well, the Hoka might be for you. But if you actually try to use them for the purposes that they are claimed to be intended for, well, don't, because you will you might actually get into serious trouble. Really, literally, I never had a piece of equipment that let me down so effectively actually than the Hoka Challenger. So that's the real Challenger. Challenge for you is well, survive with these shoes in rough terrain. Okay, well, just a little friendly warning, and ta-ta.